Alright, so we're going to go over the last week of eBay, and it has not been great. Definitely not the weekend. It was not great at all. eBay has not. I wouldn't necessarily say it's kind of. I wouldn't necessarily say it's eBay's fault. It's a little bit of mine. Haven't been listing a whole lot. I've been doing like 3-4 things a day. And FDNY patches too. So I would think that would go great, but it's not. There's just no inventory coming up on eBay at all. Just none to be found. And I haven't really tried looking anywhere other than eBay. I did like 1 or 2 other times. And there just wasn't really anything coming up lot wise. So, but a bit of a bonus. It's going to be a bit of a boost, at least to my bottom line for the week. Is I'm helping my brother sell a bunch of his outdoor Toro power equipment. It's pretty much a lot of leaf blowers, and a lot of them are electric or the Toro 60 volts system, and those are worth money. And you'll see as we get later in the week or later in the video. I'll go into it more, but I'm helping him sell some of those, so that's helping. But on the other account, I ended up getting suspended for 3 days, and then on this account for the weekend I had two canceled orders. So eBay is not high on my list of things I love this week. So, but we'll get into it. Get into what did actually end up selling. So starting off with this Malverine Fire Department on Long Island for $3.99. This Paris Island, South Carolina Marine Corps Fire Department $14.99 plus 4 shipped. So that was a good one. Atlantic City Pipes and Drums $7.99, and actually you'll see here in a little bit I sold another one to the same person. This little North Carolina Highway Patrol hat patch $4.99. This Macon Georgia SWAT sold out on offer for $6.79, 20% off. It's been around a while. This registered EMT ambulance for $5.99. There's the other Atlantic City Pipes and Drums for $6.99. And that sold to the same buyer, but it sold the day, like, I shipped it in the morning, and then it's like that afternoon they bought this one. And then they sent me an offer on this North San Diego one that I'll get to in a minute. Dubuque Fire in Iowa, $8.99. And then they sent me an offer on this North San Diego County Pipes and Drums. Was listed for $10. Sent an offer of $6.50, and I took it because it was a repeat buyer and just bought the same order. So I took it. And if they had bought the Atlantic City one and this North San Diego one, if they'd bought all 3 of them at the same time, it would have been upgraded to first class shipping on that. Next, Ridgewood Fire Department in New Jersey, $4.99. Gainesville, Florida Fire, $5.99. Here's a great thing. Was these Lithuania lighting floodlights, 300 and a 300 watt and 500 watt halogen security lights. These I found in a dumpster. What was it, 2 weeks ago now? They were brand new. The boxes were destroyed because it had rained for the 3 days before I found them. But they were in a plastic bag, so they were fine themselves. And I found 3 of them and got them listed. You know, see May 2nd, like a day or 2 after I found them, or that night or whatever. And then I sold. At first, I sold just one at full price for $25 plus 10 ship. And then the other one, where is it? Again, where is it? Did I not have it again? Should be opened again. Apparently not. So, or no, because that was sold the other week. I think that was last week it sold. Then this week I got a message A guy wanted to know about what size these were, because he was looking for like a 9x6 about to replace 2 that he had. So he sent me a message. That was the size he was looking for, and if I would do $20 if he bought 2 of them, which would be my last 2. I told him, yeah, I'll take $20 for him. If you buy the 2, and I sent him a photo of the measurements, and he agreed that was good. So I sent him the through the message, where you can send the offer. Sent the offer for the $20 for the 2 of them, and then shipping was already set for $10 for one, and then $5 for each additional one, and he just auto paid that. Because I did originally tell him to accept the offer for the the $20, so you've bought them, and then later I think I was at work, and I told him later when I get home, I'll send him the updated shipping invoice. But he just paid the $15, which actually is about what it would have been anyways. Because when I did it, when I combined the 2 of them together, it was about $15 to ship it out. I put them each individually in a 10 by 8x6 eBay boxes. What is that? What they are? I don't know what the size is offhand, but I use those boxes all the time. And I put it in a bigger, and I individually boxed the 2, and then I just put those 2 boxes in a different box. I got a Home Depot order from like last week or the week before or whatever, so it fit perfectly in that box, and that was Friday. And I didn't have time to drop it off at UPS Saturday, so I had to wait, and it went out this morning. So that was a good sale for trash, for dumpster finds that sold in 2 weeks. And I forget what I made on each of them. It's in the spreadsheet. Next, Chiefland, Florida Police for $7.99. And here's one of the leaf blowers. This Toro Ultra Leaf Blower Vac, and it can blow up to 260 miles per hour apparently. 12 amp model 51619. It's an electric one. James had bought a huge pallet of these that had a bunch of outdoor power equipment. It had leaf blowers, weed whackers. There's 2 chainsaws. It was just a mix of electric and battery. Toro's 60-volt battery system. He's been trying to kind of, and this was probably a month or 2 back now that he bought it. He's been trying to sell them on Facebook Marketplace. Not a whole lot of action there. So I decided, after they've been sitting there for a while, because they take up a lot of space, and we don't have a lot of space, and he's got his little workshop in the back yard, and it took up like his entire shed, so he's got no space to work. So I said, let me look some of this stuff up on eBay, see if it's worth anything. See if there's enough meat on the bone to where I can sell it, and then after shipping and his cost of goods and fees, there's still money to be made. So I first, for now, I'm decided, let's first start with these leaf blowers, the ones that are like brand new open box. Let's start with those, because there's some that are like used, and they're like missing pieces and parts and that. So I figured, let's just start with the new open box stuff first, and then we'll work on those. Or like start with the leaf blowers, then I'll move on to like the trimmers and the chainsaw, the 2 chainsaws, and just kind of stick with one thing at a time. So there's 5 of these in this like new open box condition. And I listed 3 of them at first, and then when this first one sold, I listed the other 2. So I got them listed for $90 free ship. I calculated it for FedEx shipping, that it'll be about $25 a piece on them. He figured out the cost on each of them was about $20. It was a little less than $20. And then after fees, and even with promoted listing and all that, there's still, about 30 to $40 to be made, kind of depended on what the shipping was going to cost. So I ended up selling 2 of them, and then this morning I sold the 3rd one, but the buyer ended up wanting to cancel that order. So at first I thought we had 3 sold, but nope, just 2. So there's the other one. And how I could tell them apart was I had post-it notes of 1 through 5 on them. So I sold 1 and 4. And then this one was a better one because I actually took all the pieces out of the box and showed everything that came with it. So I thought about doing that for all of them, and I just decided there wasn't really a need to. And at first I thought about not even making separate listings, just putting it as one quantity of 5. I also could have done that, I think. I don't really think there was a need to do listings for each, which I think I will. For the other stuff, I will not do multiple listings. I'll just make it one listing and put in like the description that the boxes, may vary slightly in terms of like box damage. So there's those two. I think that's enough of the damn leaf blowers. But this one, the buyer did send me a message asking if it came with the bag, and I said yes, it does. And it's on the bottom here, like under the manual here. It's on the bottom, so it is in there. I sent in that message, then like a few hours later, then they bought it. A few hours later. Next is this Florida EMT patch, which the buyer bought and then ended up requesting to cancel, and their cancellation reason was it wouldn't arrive in time. Whatever. I just approved the cancellation request and just relist it. These Florida EMT ones, I got a bunch of them. I'm not worried about it. Next is the New York State Association of Fire Chiefs for $4.99. Home run there. There's the other Toro, the one that I sold that got canceled. This one was number 5. And this one they said they bought the wrong thing. Whatever. You're totally bullshitting me, but whatever. These things have a decent sell-through rate. I'm not worried about it not selling. And I did them all to promoted listing 3%. The first one didn't sell via promoted listings. The second one did, and it only cost me $3. Well worth it to try and get these at the top of the search results. And if you look up the Toro leaf blowers themselves, the sell-through rate is pretty good on them. So that's why I decided let's eBay some of this lawn stuff because it needs to get out of here. It's not moving on Facebook. Let me put them up on eBay and they should start moving. And James was surprised too that I got $90 for these because it's fairly close to retail, like $30 or $40 off retail. So he was surprised that I could get that much out of them. Last thing that sold was this, but it hasn't been paid for yet. South Lockport Volunteer Fire Department up in Niagara County sold it out on offer for I think $6.79 as well. Because it was a 20% offer, and I actually recognize the name. He's local. I've talked to him a few times from the scanner pages. I've talked to him a few times, so he should pay me. And then last little thing I want to show you was this little inventory thing I picked up. These lot of 5 FDNY autism awareness patches. Got this on an offer for $16.95, so I picked them up. Just to have them. So that's one little thing to list. So moving on to the other account. This is the first thing that I sold, and it was also the thing that got me suspended. This Palestine, Texas police patch, because they're on the reason for the suspension is because these were like a badge style. So you can see here. The shield or star-shaped badge patch that you listed could be used to impersonate a law enforcement officer. Thank you for using our services. Don't relist it. They ended it. So I did go through and end a couple other similar looking listings. And as you can see, I got a 3-day suspension on this account. But I just looked, and it looks like it's been my suspension is up now, and the listings are starting to reappear. As you can see, I got 8 results when you look in my store, so they must be starting to come back from my suspensions. Oh, I got a stabbing coming in. Engine 1, letter 2. Alright. So next thing was this U.S. Border Patrol challenge coin. Sold it for $14.99 plus ship. This you guys saw last week, the little lot of challenge coins that I bought. That's where this came from. Montgomery County, New York, Montgomery County Sheriff's, $8.99. Pasco County Sheriff, sold out on offer for $6.29. Green Bay, Wisconsin Police, $7.99. Washington D.C. Protective Services, as you can see, I had 10, sold 2, down to 8 left on those. Town of Newcastle Police, $9.99. Walza, Alaska for $6.99. Broward County Sheriff, sold for $5.39. Not sure if he's stabbed, but he has facial injuries, so possible assault, which technically a stabbing is also an assault. Anyways, sold to St. Anthony, Minnesota Police for $6.99. And then the last thing I sold was this Tioga County Sheriff's Office for $7.99. And that is that. And actually, when you click on this, when you try to click on this listing, it comes up error. Like, I can't even look at it, which is interesting. Oh, and I missed this Lake City, Florida for $6.99. So, that is it for what has sold. Hopefully, over the next week or so, I'll list some more of this of the lawn equipment and get that sold. And that will help boost up my making sure I meet the goal of $100 a week at least, even though it's not mine to keep. So, other than that, I'll see if eBay will start to pick up again for this week. But other than that, that's it for this week. I'll see you next week.